So a bit of a tough morning this morning. One of my chickens is sick, and she's the oldest chicken of all of them. She's about coming up to 4 years old now, which is about as long as Isa Browns live. So I'm thinking she's probably coming to the end of her life, and she seems to be in pain. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to probably put her out of her misery. It's been a tough few weeks on my quarter-acre homestead. As someone who tries to grow food for self-sufficiency, spring is an exciting time of year, but honestly for me, recently it's all been a bit much. I work full-time and I've been trying to squeeze in all these jobs before and after work and on my weekends to get the garden ready for summer. But there's just only so many hours in the day. There's seedlings to transplant and pot up, compost to make, cover crops to clear, beds to mulch, chickens to take care of, and of course there's always plenty of weeding to do. And then out of nowhere, my oldest chicken got really sick. She's not in a good way. She's not eating, she's just sort of sitting around. It seems cruel, but I think it might be the kind of thing to do, to actually just give her a quick death, which I don't really want to do, but it's one of those calls you have to make, you know? Well, I just had my last moments with the chook and then I took care of her. My hands were shaking. But I'm glad I did it. She's had a great life, you know? She's from the first batch of chickens I ever bought, and she's the last one standing. The rest of them had unfortunately been taken by foxes. So I'm gonna make a compost pile now and I'm gonna compost her body. It's not an easy thing to do, to kill an animal that you've taken care of for the past 4 years. And it's not an easy thing to talk about because inevitably some people won't agree with my decision and I'm opening myself up to criticism. But I want to be honest with you and show you not just the fun stuff, but also the sad and challenging aspects of being connected to your food. So if you saw my last video, you would have seen that I've recently started hundreds of seedlings, which have all germinated really well, which is great. But now I'm in a race against the clock to get them into the ground before they outgrow their pots. So far I've transplanted zucchinis, lettuce, dill and pumpkins, which are all thankfully settling in nicely. But I've also transplanted turnips and fennel, which, yeah, aren't doing so well. They've been heavily attacked at night by what I suspect to be earwigs, but I just haven't had the time to do anything about it. And then there was the $60 worth of seed potatoes that I'd been preparing to plant out. In order to get more than one plant out of each potato, I cut them in half and then I put them aside to dry. But I've just been so busy that I left them for a few days and then I didn't even notice that they'd gone completely moldy. At that point I thought I'd ruined 4 kilos worth of potatoes, but I planted them anyway. And 2 weeks on they seem to be sprouting, so hopefully my year's supply of potatoes is going to be alright. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you're enjoying the video so far, give it a like and subscribe. It'll really help my channel. less urgent problem, but nonetheless important, is my water situation. With such a large garden, it can be quite expensive to irrigate with mains water, and I've recently noticed that the price has gone up by 20%. So I've decided that I really need to install a rainwater tank to reduce my water bill. And I found a 3,000 litre second-hand tank online that'll fit perfectly where I want to put it, but there was a sloping path in that location, so it had to go. Thankfully, breaking it up was a lot easier than I anticipated, and it was actually a great stress reliever after the couple of weeks I've had. If you want to know more about how I plan to incorporate my rainwater tank with my irrigation system, then let me know in the comments below. Get out of my shop. So I feel like I've made progress and things are slowly becoming under control. And hopefully in the next few weeks, things settle down and I can really get into the excitement of spring.